Hey guys, it's Ryan. Just wanted to put a little bit of an introduction to this. So we're kind of doing a couple of new things. One of the things that at least I and Wally and Carl are all really enjoying is Grant's little interlude at the beginning. So we might start making that a regular segment. So he did do a Princess Bride one that is absolutely hilarious. Other than that, just restructuring and that sort of stuff. I kind of made up a dumb little theme thing that's just cheesy and lame. Yeah, but just thought I'd put this in to say hi, and now we're gonna play Grant's thing.
Okay, so Princess Bride. I haven't seen this movie in like 10 years, and I can't be bothered to look it up. So I asked my sister, who loves this movie, and my friend McCracken the Movie Wizard to kind of summarize it for me and put that together with what I remember, so here we go. So we've got Wesley, who's this farm boy with a body like a back road, who can say nothing but yes, and this entitled millennial girl who falls in love with him because he only says yes. Or something like that. At which point, Body Like a Back Road moves off and goes and gets on like a boating trip, and seemingly dies. During that time period that he's mostly dead, the entitled Buttercup goes to marry Prince Farquaad. He's the only prince who comes to mind, so he has to be the one from the movie. And along the way, she meets 3 traveling circus performers, a Slytherin, probably Malfoy, Andre the Giant, whose wrestling career had hit like rock bottom at that point, or top, I guess, depending on how you look at it, and then Indigo Montana, who was like a 2-handed sword fighter, which was significant. I guess everyone else in the movie only had one hand, who happened to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Andre, Indigo, and Malfoy kidnap the girl and eventually run into the terrible sea burglar Robert, Robert the sea burglar, and Robert the sea burglar then individually battles Malfoy in a battle of wits, Andre in a thumb wrestling match, and Indigo Montana in a touchdown throwing contest. After successfully vanquishing all 3 enemies, he hooks back up with Buttercup. They fall in a swamp and hang out with some big gerbils. And then some stuff happens, and somehow Prince Farquaad finds him again. They wind up in a castle, and Prince Farquaad really wants to hurt the sea burglar with a body like a back road. And Princess Buttercup doesn't really know what's going on. She's kind of the MacGuffin for a lot of the film, which I'm sure I'm not using the word MacGuffin right, but it's a funny sounding word, so I'm going to use it. Outside of that, Body Like a Back Road teams back up with Indigo and Andre the Giant, who survived their previous encounters. Loses his ability to walk, or maybe dies first. I don't know. Something like that. Indigo gets in a sword fight and gets to use both his hands, which everyone's really impressed by and is very, very funny. He does have a bit of a stroke and can only repeat his name like a sad sword-swinging Pokemon, but everybody thinks it's a cool thing. But he fights a 6-handed bad guy and eventually beats him with his 2 hands, and everybody's happy. They save the day, and then we cut to an old man reading a book to a little kid in a bedroom. Someone fell in love. Indigo Montana saves the day. And Andre the Giant likes peanuts. Those are the main takeaways of the film. It's treasured as a cult classic, mostly because it can't be appreciated as a real film, because it's kind of ridiculous. And there you have it.
And we're back, guys. We are the Film Fuks.
Heck yeah!
Heck yeah! It's been, I don't know.
It's been years.
It's been another year. So it's 2022.
Okay. Is it? Yeah.
It's a cold fall evening.
Yes, in this nuclear apocalypse we call Wisconsin.
Yeah, we have had several nuclear wars. It's horrible outside. We still are on the 2nd floor of this brick building that's 118 years old at this point.
Yeah, it's really old, but sturdy.
It is sturdy. I mean, it works great for what we need it.
We're all gonna eventually die of radioactive poisoning.
It hasn't killed us yet, so we're gonna keep reviewing movies till it does.
Keep fucking those zombies, but it hasn't killed us yet. That's a
Stay
callback
tuned,
to
yeah.
stay tuned to our future movie endeavors. It's gonna be warm bodies, but
yeah.
all about fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. So we are reviewing. It's okay. It is the Film Fucks Rewind. Rewind. That sounds terrible.
Let's try that again.
Rewind. Wally, I can't hear you for some reason.
You can't?
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a Film
I
Fucks
don't
Rewind.
wanna hear
We
myself.
finally relented. I finally relented.
Yeah,
and we
we
went
built
to-
this one up.
We did, and the only reason we watched it is because there was an event. So we went to
Yeah, public. This was the
beautiful-
only way we were gonna watch
the
this.
beautiful Majestic Theater.
It was majestic.
It was Majestic in the
Literally.
Majestic Theater in Madison, Wisconsin, to watch a whole bunch of drunk people scream at a
Oh,
movie
that was
screen.
fantastic, dude. Yeah,
We couldn't
just the
hear.
biggest fans. Carl, what was the movie?
Yeah, Carl.
The movie was Princess Bride. Fuck yeah.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay. Yeah, so,
So,
if
yeah.
you guys only heard the first part, it isn't the princess, and then fuck
The
yeah, it's the
princess.
Princess Bride. I muted you.
Of course
Yeah,
you did.
The classic. Yeah.
The classic. Yeah, so we saw that there was a bunch of drunk people. One
Yeah.
guy who really couldn't read the crowd. He had one great joke.
He had
and
one great joke. He tried 20 more times.
20
after
more
that.
times the same joke.
Yeah.
And then maybe a slight variation off of that joke.
Yeah, I was like, does he realize there's other people here? Like,
No,
it
he
felt
didn't.
like he was just talking to himself.
No, he was
At that
talking
point.
to the screen. He thought he was part of the. He thought he was part of the movie.
It was so big, yeah. You thought you were part of the movie.
Yeah, you're
dude.
just like, I'm part of this movie right now.
Dude,
what a
so,
dick!
yeah.
Dude's a dick.
Let's go with the
About the main character, the guy just.
I got a
shout-
log line for this movie. You want to hear? You want to hear
Let's
what
hear
the
it.
fucking log line
Let's
is?
hear it.
Okay. So through a story of true love and revenge, a grandfather's able to connect with his reluctant grandson.
Okay, guys, let's.
That's pretty good, right?
Let's jump. No, that was a long log line.
That's a good log
let's-
line, dude.
Well, was it the grandpa that didn't connect with the kid, or was it the kid kind of like not thinking his grandpa's cool? But
Yeah,
his
he
gra-
thinks
the
he's lame. He's like, oh
Yeah.
god, he's gonna squeeze my cheeks.
Yeah, a
pinch my butt.
a kid's flawed ideas of his grandfather are inexorably changed, and the bond is created for life.
That's good.
No, but okay, so at the end of the movie, you get that great final scene where the grandpa gets up after
As
the
you wish.
stupid. Yeah. Okay, does that mean the grandpa wants to fuck the kid, man?
Maybe.
I mean,
I don't know. I think
The whole point of that, as you wish, is it's this
sexual,
romance.
yeah.
It's this non-spoken romance language between Wesley and
that's
Buttercup.
the true love right there.
Yeah,
I love between
and the grandpa's
grandfather
just
and
like,
his grandson.
I want to fuck you.
Yeah,
'Cause that's-
just winks at him.
Oh yeah, it's kind of creepy.
It is kind of creepy. Like, I know it's supposed to be sweet. That's how I saw it, but
Well, yeah,
like, you
it's
could
supposed to be
easily
sweet,
see it
but-
as creepy.
Dude, it's supposed to be sweet because they bonded over reading this story. Like you said, it was like the main tagline for that story. And now, like you pointed out, Wally.
What's the main tagline? Oh,
As
that they
you
bonded?
wish.
No,
As
no,
you
no, no,
wish.
no. That is not the main
No, well-
tagline of this movie. Is "As you wish."
Well, that's the main like catchphrase of this
That
movie.
no,
It's
the main
one of them.
catchphrase is
It's-
"My
it's-
name is
my
Diego,
name is Indigo Montoya."
Montoya.
It's
You
one
killed
of
my
the
father."
It's that
taglines
movie.
of-
and
not a
in case you
tagline.
guys still
It's
didn't
a
know what movie
quote.
we were talking about.
Yeah, it's a quote,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a quote that's
It's
said
romantic.
in a very romantic way.
Yeah.
And the grandpa singing
It
it to
is
the
kinda
kid at the end is
weird.
kind of creepy.
It's kind of
Dude,
creepy.
I am
it's
not
kind
gonna
of
let
sweet.
you bash the hell out of this
It's-
movie.
Well, you could see it either way, and I definitely do. Like, I chose
Especially
to see
with
it
the
as
wink.
weird. Yeah.
The wink is creepy at the end, and it like zooms
I mean,
in on
yeah.
his face, and he like winks like into the camera.
You
like,
know, he's called Grandpa Touchy for a reason, dude. They never say yes. It's Grandpa Touchy.
it's Grandpa Touchy. Damn. So maybe that grandpa wanted to fuck that kid, and maybe we shouldn't normalize that, guys.
We shouldn't. Not in 2019.
Not in 2019, Carl. This movie's bad.
Yeah. It's
Zero,
not progressive.
zero
Screw you.
fucks, zero
Yeah,
fucks.
no.
It promotes pedophilia.
It
dude.
does. It promotes pedophilia, and it's also a direct like
So while we're on
precursor-
that rant,
It's
what
a
are
direct
the?
precursor to Trolls 2.
Yeah, that's true.
As you
Watch this as a double bill.
Carl.
thing.
As you wish.
You're-
There you go.
He's stroking my leg with his foot and proving my point that
Yeah,
it's
see,
a very
it's a
sexual,
very sexual
thing
line,
to say.
Carl. Yeah.
Yeah. So Yeah,
And I mean,
so-
that's the line that you leave the movie with.
yeah,
So
That's the line
you
you leave-
ruminate
yeah.
on that.
yeah, and it goes.
You're
to
like, wait a second.
a rock.
He just wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, he's like
just trying
I'm-
to seduce his
That's the
grandson
thing
this
is,
entire
I'm not
time.
even your grandpa. I'm
Yeah.
just some old guy that your mom didn't realize she
just
let
call
in
me
the
Grandpa
house.
Touchy.
I'm Grandpa Touchy.
All right, you guys done?
Okay,
You guys done?
what?
Okay,
yeah,
Carl.
Yeah,
that's
you
it.
guys done?
Mute.
Like,
What? What are
You
the
guys
good
done.
things about this movie? We'll start with you, Carl.
No, Wally, don't you have a list of things you want to go through? You were very adamant that you
yeah,
have
the
a
first
whole
thing is
structure.
good. The
Is
good stuff
good?
and then the bad stuff.
Damn, you really made a very like in-depth
I
comprehensive.
forgot it, so I'm just trying to remember.
We're
what,
winging it. Okay,
yeah.
Carl. What's the good about this movie? So okay,
The good.
what's
fucking
what's
good
your
about this
favorite
movie?
part about this movie? Let's
Yeah.
do that because good. There's a lot of good to it.
Yeah.
dude, I love this whole movie from start to finish.
No,
You know
favorite
that.
part. I don't care.
Dude, there's the revenge scene that that Inigo Montoya finally gets. I love that
Indigo.
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 scene. Oh,
Indigo Montoya.
Don't you say whatever, man.
I'm a Spaniard, even though this is a fantasy world.
yes. It's
Stupid.
still Spain. Yeah.
There's-
Fantasy
no,
Spain.
there's literally it's the
It's
entire globe. They
fantasy
reference
Spain.
every part of the globe.
Yeah, Sicily. There's the Sicilian.
Yeah. They reference
Sic-
every
yeah,
part
that
of
was,
the globe,
uh,
but then there's these random ass countries.
bedtime story, Ryan.
Yeah, then don't include
fantasy,
don't
okay?
include geography. No kid wants to learn about geography and fucking.
There's a lot of exposition in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. And it's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's stop
Well,
railroading
well,
Carl.
yeah.
Carl,
okay,
what's
good stuff.
favorite.
Good.
So the revenge,
scene,
Yeah,
that's one
really
of
good.
mine.
Yeah,
Then also
fantastic.
Wesley's 3 trials to get Princess Buttercup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those I like.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I will
Hey,
say
just survived
they
the,
really,
the burp.
from my perspective, I feel like they front loaded those 3 trials. Like the Battle of Wits isn't that great. It's just like
It was more of a comedy
it's
scene,
one
which
dude
is what I thought it was
one
funny.
dude riffing hardcore.
The first
and
time you
Andre-
see it is pretty funny, but like on like a rewatch of it, like it doesn't hold up as much.
No, and Andre the Giant, they criminally underused him in this movie, and I think it's because he was
think
actually
they
he was
criminally-
sick.
Yeah.
he was already in a lot of pain and stuff
Yeah.
like that, so he couldn't
Could
really
only
do
do
a
so
lot.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the fight, it was a little disappointing. Like Wesley gets the upper hand on him like right away.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't get to spend time with Andre and like learn about him the same way he does with.
Yeah, it's almost
Indigo.
like you want him to like reason with him because it's like
Yeah,
the
because he
entire-
actually like he respects these two, but you get that more with his first fight.
Oh,
They
yeah.
actually have a conversation.
Well,
and
and
stuff.
the entire conceit is that the bad dude, the main bad guy who stole Buttercup
Yeah.
is like a dick to
Guy
these
looks
2
like a
guys, and
school
he
teacher.
constantly is making fun of Andre the Giant about
As they're climbing up.
yeah about being an idiot. It's like you shouldn't think. So wouldn't it be sweet if instead of fighting him, instead of like besting him in brute strength, he like just talks to him and he's
Yeah, he
like,
talks him down.
yeah, exactly. But and God, that sword fight is so good.
Oh, it
that
is.
like compared to the other 3 trials or other 2 trials, which are so quick.
Mhm.
And
yeah, they went by faster than I remembered. Them.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad that they didn't think as like
I think it would have been fun or silly. Like he's like coming up a cliff to like meet Andre. If like a bunch of rocks are just
meet
being thrown.
Mandy. Well, you mean following on like them?
So
climbing?
this is him. Oh, like okay, yeah. He climbs up the cliff.
yeah, okay,
to,
sorry. Yeah,
to
he's-
get to
yeah, he's
Mandy,
hiking up the
and then
hill.
yeah, he's hiking up a hill. There should have just been like a rock slide or something.
yeah, Andre the
like that.
Giant's just like
Tossing
Like,
rocks.
oh, yeah, like-
to really be like, oh, like they're not treating him like a person because like he is like the most sympathetic.
yeah,
like,
he is.
character in
He
this.
absolutely is. And he's the most like genuinely nice person. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't want to hurt
The
people.
gen-
He's
yeah,
just kind
the
of forced
gentle
into
giant,
that role.
yeah.
And like he catches Buttercup at the end and gives her a big smile. It's such a great.
Yeah.
And then he hops on a horse, which was like, oh, that poor horse. But not to be mean, he's just
Yeah.
he's a
that
beefy
big of a
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Kind of wish they had a scene like in Blazing Saddles where he just punches the horse. Knocks it
just
over.
slaps the horse on the ass and it just goes running. Yeah.
That's how the movie ends. Yeah.
Mungo like candy. I mean, anybody want a peanut? Is basically the same thing as Mungo like candy. Okay, so yeah, Carl, elaborate a little. I mean, we kind of went off on a tangent, but
Billy Crystal.
yeah.
Yeah.
It went with that miracle drug.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the silly makeup on him.
Oh yeah, it's so
Well,
great, and his wife, like
y-
that.
oh, yeah,
that,
his
that
wife
is like
also
the
made that scene.
the stereotypical like Jewish like old couple.
Yeah, that's true.
Liar!
Yeah. And that made ever more great by two drunk girls directly behind us.
Oh
just
yes, dude. Yeah,
screaming.
we gotta emphasize, like, I could not hear most of the dialogue for this movie. Like,
Nope.
the first time I watched it, I could hardly hear the dialogue, anyways. But yeah, in a crowd of like a bunch of people, you can't really hear most of it. But it's fine. Like, this movie, you could still tell what's going on for the most part.
Yeah.
Even without the dialogue. I mean, the dialogue is a huge part where all the fun comes from.
Well,
All
and
the wittiness.
yeah.
Like, the dialogue's written pretty well when
But
you can hear
Mandy,
it.
Mandy Patinkin's accent definitely like hinder, and he has a lot of good lines because
I
he's
would
just,
say he might be the best actor in
yeah,
this movie.
he is, and I think
Yeah.
they gave him a lot more to do and to act, and then also he's kind of like an
'Cause,
emotional
yeah.
linchpin. Like I feel like the love story is
As silly as this movie is, like, yeah, it is a straight up comedy. It doesn't like become like satire or like parody. Like,
no,
ever
not at
really.
all. It's very
No.
straight.
Yeah, while
And,
still being funny though.
Yep, and yeah,
The polar opposite of Monty Python in the Holy Grail.
which we also watched. Carl, what would
Yeah.
you rate Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
yeah.
We talked about this.
What's
Exactly.
but we
out
didn't
of our
talk
rating
about it on the
system? So
podcast.
it was a
people,
2 out of 5 for me.
2 fucks. Carl
Yeah, it's
doesn't
not-
give 2 fucks about
Yeah.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Can you guys believe that?
Can
Right?
you guys believe that?
Yeah.
So we're busting out our new rating system. So that's the first one. Is 2 out of 5 is he doesn't give 2 fucks about
Right.
the movie.
Yeah. The rate. Yeah. 5 out of 5 fucks
You give 5 out of 5 fucks
for Monty
for
Python.
Monty Python.
I give it a 4.
You give it a 4. So that's you do give 2 fucks,
I do.
and I would agree there. It might be
Yeah.
it might be.
It's
I give 2 fucks and a hand job about Monty Python.
okay. So yeah, we should
Yeah.
explain that.
It was
Hand
just
job
too
is
bizarre for me.
Oh,
is a
yeah.
quarter. Is a quarter.
Yeah,
Blow
so-
jobs half.
Half, and then yeah,
A fuck is a full.
a fuck is a full. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And then you go.
There
yeah,
we go.
you
We finally figured this out after like 15 episodes.
and we're not gonna remember it
We'll-
the next
we'll
time.
forget,
The
yep.
fact that we remembered it from yesterday, at least me, is.
I mean, it
surprising.
helped. Well, you said like let's get rid of like what the stars mean and just go with like, oh, people would understand like
Well, if
what
you
5
just
out of
say-
5, 4 out of 5 means.
Yeah, if you just
but then
say-
you just said like, yeah, I give 2 fucks, which is what.
Yeah, I give 2 fucks, or I don't give 2 fucks.
Okay.
And then the middle is I give a fuck about it.
Okay.
And then it's either I fucking,
Fucking
love this
love this
movie
movie.
or I fucking hate this movie.
I'm proud of you, Ryan. You remembered my rating system.
It took me. I was.
Here we go.
I was
It
really.
took a lengthy debate home to remember this.
Well, no, Wally
Mine-
just didn't like the. I
Throat was
wanted to.
very sore.
I wanted to
at the
do
end
the
of it.
symmetry of I give 2 fucks
Yeah,
about this
I
movie
mean,
and I don't give
it
2
makes
fucks
more
about this movie
sense.
because then you go from one I give a fuck about this movie to either I don't give 2 fucks, like it kind of
Mm-hmm.
it progression. So that was the hill I died on last night, and
Yes.
Wally was nice enough to relent. But Wally, let's jump to you. So what's your favorite part about this movie?
Okay, yeah, good aspects of this movie, like the first like half an hour, like the first trial with Indigo, like that's definitely the best part, and like we're treated to like beautiful matte paintings, like it really sells that this is like a fairy tale bedtime story with those paintings. So I really like the design early on in this movie, and yeah, all the acting, like whether it be silly or like taken seriously, like all the acting is pretty great. Anyway,
Yeah. So all the acting. So that's your favorite part. You don't have one specific thing that really
them climbing up the cliff was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Because that looked dangerous and was practical. So
You might need to be slightly more silent.
okay.
Slightly. But yeah, it definitely wait, what you said it looked dangerous, but it was definitely practical? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, you felt like you were in the moment there.
Yeah. I 100% agree. And you couldn't see the wires.
No,
No,
no
not at all.
wires. But we'll get to that.
We will get to that. That is a very
Ryan.
significant
What was your
criticism.
favorite part?
What was
Oh,
it?
that's a tough one.
I know it's a tough one because you didn't enjoy this movie.
There was a beautiful pennant at the end
He
that was
enjoys
just
the bits.
Oh.
He's a bit guy.
the pennant. There was that pennant at the end that was on the kid's wall, and it just like has a
Yeah,
slight.
Fuck
you know
you.
that
Fuck you.
that was a highlight.
That
like,
was a highlight.
the
you
gleaming
guys.
like light that came out of that. I was like, this means something.
This is
You
like
know?
historical because these people have
They
been.
predicted.
They've been. No, don't say that. They've
They
been suffering
predicted
for so long.
So long, 100 years. You know, one of the greatest injustices done in this country.
Great
All right.
that a
injustices.
team,
That's
a
what you're gonna
sports
phrase
team
that.
sucked.
Sports team, yes.
It's a great
for
injustice that a
100 years.
sports team sucked.
for so long.
Hey, but you know, all bad things come to an end.
Come,
They come.
all bad things come to an
What'd you
end.
think of his shirt, Carl? The
Yeah,
kid's
Carl.
shirt.
Fuck his shirt.
You'd
That's-
fuck his shirt?
Dude, that's pedophilic.
Yeah, again.
Carl, is that why you like this movie? Is because you relate to the grandpa?
No.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sure.
You just said I want to fuck that kid's shirt.
Dude, the grandpa's lazy eye was kind of bugging me. I'm like, I couldn't fix that shit.
Oh, I completely zoned out at any point where those two were on screen because it was drowned out by that girl
Yeah.
screaming, "Let him tell the story."
Yeah, that was really
in
obnoxious because
a
I'm like,
high,
the kid,
squeaky voice.
the
Drunk.
kid is saying
Clearly
something,
drunk.
and I'm like, I kind of want to hear what the kid has to fucking say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it was hilarious that she was saying that because
Also, I
kid-
changed my mind. My favorite part was definitely the rats of
Oh,
strangely
yes.
enormous size.
they were so great.
Mhm.
Actually, just his line, his intro line for them.
That was
so.
it's hilarious.
yeah,
then just
it
to
is.
this like pretty horrific scene of him being mauled by this
Yeah,
rat.
like
Yeah.
graphically attacked, and this girl
I
doing
was like,
nothing.
wow, this is
She
pretty
grabs,
fucking hardcore.
she grabs a big club.
And then she gets fucked up because like it starts like gnawing on her foot.
Yeah.
And then she falls over. Yeah, no, the great tension in there. Like I forgot that was like that intense in this movie. That's like pretty comedic for the
There you
most
go.
part.
Yeah, it's definitely that was definitely a highlight. I mean, it was
What
was
was your
definitely like
favorite?
hard at what my favorite was. I guess the sword fighting. I just thought the sword fighting was executed really well, except for one glaring issue. And other than that, like I mean, all of the little tricks that he did with he flipped the sword a lot in like very interesting ways to like pick it
Yeah.
up off the ground and stuff like that. And I can't imagine how many takes it took him to do it, but
Right. I was kind
it
of
was-
wondering if they ever thought of like having this actor who played Wesley like actually play Zorro. But I guess Zorro has to be Latino or Hispanic. Spanish.
I thought the guy that played Zorro was also the father in the Spy Kids movies.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio
I thought that's who it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Antonio Banderas. Sexy man.
Very sexy.
Okay, so those are our favorite parts. So I guess as good mirroring. So Carl, I think we can guess what
This-
yours is. So but
yeah.
we'll start with yours because it's such a
all right.
not, it's
Yeah.
not a criticism.
It's not. It's a personal preference.
It
It, has
is.
nothing to do with film criticism.
Yeah, the
Take
kid,
it away,
The
Carl.
kid could not be wearing. The kid could just be wearing any old shirt, and the movie
Yeah.
wouldn't change.
It has no bearing on the film.
No bearing.
You are right, but at the same time, it is a huge problem for me. The kid
Why?
being a Bears fan. Like, what the fuck?
Or just a Chicago.
mean,
Just
did you
a
say-
Chicago sports fan.
Oh,
Yeah, in general,
people live
too.
in
Yeah.
Chicago. Wow.
Wow.
They
This
support
is-
their team. Wow.
Wow. You know, Carl, if they made a
Not
movie
everyone's
with,
from Wisconsin. Wow.
Wow, you can't appreciate that he also loves the games that you love, Carl. Wow.
No, I can
Yeah.
appreciate that. I just can't appreciate him being a Bear fan. Like,
Yeah, but
He had He-Man action figures, dude.
he did. He
Yeah,
had
he
He-Man.
had,
He had
Captain
he even
America,
had
there
Captain
was a
America's
Doctor
sitting on
Doom.
the
Yeah.
Jeep
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, Carl, you can't relate at least a little bit
A
and
little
give
bit,
this
yeah.
just accept that some people have different tastes than you and
Yeah.
still not make this
Nope.
a criticism.
Oh
you're
wow.
a bad, you're
okay.
a bad person.
No, I know.
You're a bad
Yeah.
pedophile.
and that's
The
why I'm
worst
here.
kind of pedophile.
and
The
that's
worst
why
you
I'm
like-
here. That's why I'm here on your podcast.
You're a bad pedophile. Well, yeah, because you don't.
You have- yeah.
You've had a 0 success.
You have such a
rating on
characterization
pedophilia.
on this podcast, Carl. You're in a gay relationship with a wizard.
With a wizard.
And you just admitted to being a pedophile.
Well, I mean, the wizard is.
This is also a pedophile.
Well, no. The
a
wizard
child.
is 1,400 years old, but he looks like a very young, like, hentai woman.
Okay.
A 13-year-old
young
hentai,
hentai woman.
A 13-year-old
okay.
hentai woman.
Yeah.
Um,
She's got tentacles
prepubescent.
coming out
No
from
tentacles.
everywhere.
That's something. That's
something
That's
different.
an addition.
Okay. Yeah.
He has ports in the back that those can be plugged into. But
Good.
yeah.
What were we talking about?
We were talking
now?
about the worst.
Oh,
so,
yeah, the
Wally,
bad
what would
parts.
you say the bad part about this movie for you is?
The middle section where we have to have like all our heroes like meet up, like that's just like really clunky for like a movie where the pacing's pretty solid. Like it does kind of meander like towards the end where you're like you just kind of want things to wrap up. And it also feels like the movie just wants to wrap things up too because they kind of just throw all the characters together.
Yeah, I definitely can agree on that. And I think this story he
Definitely
didn't realize
the first
how,
half of this film is stronger than the second half.
he definitely didn't realize how expansive this story got very quickly.
Yeah, there was like this whole thing of like there's this other land that we never see that is like maybe they want to go to war with this land.
Yep.
Like that's just kind of thrown away in a few lines. It really has no bearing on the film.
And okay, like plot wise, so I will say you could have taken out the fire swamp section and have it been totally fine. Yes, it's a good section.
Yeah,
But it would
it
have
does drag on maybe a little bit much.
But it's also like a nonsense like it doesn't have any bearing on the rest of the movie.
Well, the
You don't
only
see-
thing it has bearing on the film is that's when we get like, oh, what has he been doing for 5 years? That's where he talks about it.
Yeah, a little. Yeah,
But not
you-
only that, they're also trying to escape the prince who's trying to marry her.
Yeah.
So to try to
It
get away
eventually
from
leads to
him.
No, we
nothing,
know,
though.
but Carl, yeah, we know that that's the point. But eventually he gets captured, so it's kind of like it's.
I think if the scene is entertaining enough, which for me
And
personally it
that's-
is, like,
Yeah.
and it's very effective, like set dressing, like the music's really good there. It made me think of The Labyrinth. If you guys have ever
Yeah.
seen that movie,
Yes. I agree. But what if they cut that out and expanded that thing so it made more sense that all the characters would come back together? Like, or they at least cut
yeah.
that down. You still got the exposition, but they cut down like maybe.
I think the whole character thing is glaring, but like it's nice enough to see them all together again, anyways. So it is not the biggest problem, but like that is the glaring thing to me. I think it would have been a lot smoother if we see them, connecting together like at a bar or something like that. Would have been funny, but yeah, like for what we got, I think it's fine.
Well, and also I am kind of playing like devil's advocate a little bit, like I'm kind of playing both sides. But it also I feel like it's like that fire swamp is kind of like one of the most fantastic.
Yeah, it's the
Sets
special effects
and
heavy.
And like
One, too.
the rodents of insane size or whatever. That's like
Yeah.
very fantastic, whereas the rest of the movie is very much just like kind of medieval. It's not fully fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, you have some like weird wizard characters that can bring people back to life, kind of like
Yeah.
sprinkled in there.
Yeah, but he wasn't dead. He was,
It was
almost dead.
mostly dead.
Yeah, mostly dead.
But like, yeah, those like characters, like, I mean, I guess we're supposed to imagine that like maybe Billy Crystal's like immortal or he's just really, really old, past like how a normal human being would be. So
Yeah.
like he's kind of a wizard type character.
But he's not like the wizard from Monty Python. I can't remember, Jeff or
Oh, Tim, the
Tim.
enchanter. Yeah,
who's
with the
just
horns.
shooting rockets.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love Tim, dude.
yeah.
Actually, when they're in the forest and there's like the fire spurting out of the ground, that remind me a lot of Tim.
Oh yeah, it was very much like a similar like time
Effect.
period effect.
Yeah.
But he's not a traditional wizard in the same way that like Tim is a very stereotypical.
Well, he's a
wizard.
pyromaniac.
Yeah.
He's just setting this like, we're just gonna talk about Monty Python
Yeah.
for the rest
Well,
of the
no,
time.
but-
setting this
No,
metal
no.
It's actually kind of like they kind of do go together a little bit because
They do.
they're not strictly fantasy. There's a lot of like very
One
not-
goes for absurd
meta-y
comedy. One,
meta.
I guess is more straight comedy, but like kind of pokes fun at itself enough while you could still take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like I love the whole scene where like the one guy's torturing him. He's like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, like tell me how did that make you feel?
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
that.
Yeah, he's doing a survey,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, remember,
but Monty
this is
Python
for
does like
prosperity.
the whole.
There's-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole meta narrative of like they're in modern times is
They're just these insane
Well-
people that just like ended up killing a
well,
story.
it was a different night. That's the funniest part is that it wasn't one of the knights
I
of the
th-
round table. It was
Yeah, it
just
was.
no, it wasn't.
Are you sure?
I
I
swear.
thought it was the guy where like the blue one where like he has to the one where we get introduced where he's like, if she weighs as much as a duck or whatever,
Oh,
she's
the,
a witch. I thought it was that guy.
No.
No?
It was a generic like there was
He was
it
wearing
he was
blue.
just gray. It was
Okay.
just gray cuz I made sure to look because I remember people saying it was one of the knights and I made sure to look and it's just a gray knight.
Are you
Which is-
do you know for sure that was the intent of the movie though?
I
That-
don't know.
I think it's
but-
that one night I was talking about.
Why he is the least violent besides
Yeah, he is.
besides
That's why
the
it's
guy
funny.
who besides the one guy.
It's probably Sir Arthur. Sir Arthur
no,
killed him.
You know, it's Sir not appearing in this
Yeah,
film.
not appearing in this film because he was pissed.
the baby
because he
one.
wasn't in the movie. Yeah.
Well, he's the baby.
Yeah.
And
I too loved.
yeah.
God,
And
sorry to get.
get sidetracked. But that meta narrative is very similar to the meta narrative of the grandpa just telling the story to the kid. But
Yeah,
Like,
like it's done. This is done in a way where like, I mean, Monty Python is so absurd that it's not everyone's cup of tea. They'll be like, I just don't get it.
clearly,
Which is what Carl's takeaway of that film
Yeah.
was. He just didn't get it.
and that's why he loves
Um,
Princess Bride. Is that it's so easy to get. I guess it's
That's not-
it's so mainstream to
Dude,
get.
It's not
It's
the
easy to
mainstream
get.
thing.
Okay,
I honestly
Princess Bride
love
is the
the
most
casting.
mainstream.
I
Yeah, Carl
I
just
love the
wants to
casting
fuck Wesley.
too.
He wants to fuck.
I mean, who
Wesley's
doesn't,
song.
man?
Yeah.
You got those
Dude,
red
I love
lips.
Andre, man.
Who doesn't?
He's got those big lips.
Yeah, he do. Those
Um,
big hands.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with me with those hands? all right,
All right. Yeah, this movie really needed Matthew McConaughey. in it
Yeah, it did.
At one point.
Even though he was probably like a child.
Yeah, like 15.
Yeah,
A wee lad.
a wee lad.
What? Okay. What
What were we talking about?
What was bad about the movie to
Yeah.
you, Ryan?
Oh,
Here we go.
I already know it.
Well, duh. But there's a
I
couple
mean,
of things.
it's-
So,
yeah.
so the whole idea that we find out late. So I have a couple ones as I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it. We find out late in the movie that the king was already planning to kill Buttercup.
Yeah, that was the thing where it's like we need to really hone in that this is a bad guy. Like he doesn't really do anything evil prior
No,
to that.
he's
He
kinda
just seems
just a
like a
baby.
sleaze bag. But like, yeah, at the end he's like, "Oh, I'm actually going to kill her." I'm like, "Okay, now
Well,
we get it." Like
and
he's
find,
the bad
we find
guy
out that
for sure.
as soon as he was
Like he just
engaged-
kind of
he-
seems like a dork.
But yeah,
Like
exactly.
not necessarily evil, but
like
just
he's
like,
a wimp. But then you
yeah.
find out he was originally going to kill his fiance on the day that they get engaged and blame it on this other country to start a war.
Yeah, it's just it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like
But then the whole confusion is that why who were these other guys that were also trying to do the exact same thing? Were they hired by him? Because I don't think that they were.
were those the Sicilian and like those two
Yeah.
other guys
Yeah,
are
and did-
those?
Yeah.
I don't think they were hired by the king, but they were also
I
doing
think
the
they were hired
exact
by that
same
other
thing.
country that they're like at odds with, I guess.
No, because they were gonna frame them. Like it seemed like they had the same plan as the king, but I don't think they
Yeah.
ever came together and said that these two.
The
were-
plot is definitely not
Yeah,
airtight.
yeah,
And yeah, I don't know. Those are things you kind of glare over, but yeah, once you like really start thinking about it, it does kind of fall apart.
yeah. I was very confused because it seemed it just
I
seemed
think,
weird
yeah,
to me.
The better villain is like the man who killed Indigo's father, anyways. And that
I kind of agree, but that's only because Indigo Montoya is such a good character.
He's
I
such a
think
good
the
character,
villain
yeah.
isn't a compelling villain. I think
he's more he's the comedic
he's
like
an
sidekick.
oddity. He's peculiar. I mean, the fact, that he's asking a torture victim. So how are you feeling right now?
Well, it's like he's
cool.
so fucked up, he doesn't realize like how fucked up he is.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's the
yeah,
idea.
but like he, yeah. I don't
And it's
know,
like
he
you do
seems
want to
so
like
goofy.
he's like
He's
slimy,
super-
like
He's goofy.
there's no villain in this that like there isn't like this really like evil like feeling threat, which I think is fine.
Yeah.
They don't really need that in this movie. Like the whole thing is about like true love, but like yeah, you do kind of feel like, oh, there's no way like Wesley can't beat this guy.
Yeah, it's
anyways.
very.
Like,
It's. I mean, he's.
it's
lit-
still
he
satisfying
literally
like
can't
that.
move.
He just like he just intimidates him to sit down in a chair,
Yeah,
and that's how he
And then
defeats him.
after
I do like that.
and
It's-
then yeah, it's non-traditional,
Mhm.
and it's really well done. And afterwards, he's like, "I knew you were bluffing." It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so kind of childish. In
and
like,
just a huge dork. and
yeah,
it's like
he's just
yeah,
a dork.
he's a villain you love to hate.
Yeah, and then you also get the cool sword fight with the like, I would say, yeah, the like more compelling, more villainous villain, and that's
Do they sword fight or he just runs away to get the upper hand?
he
throws
runs
the
away and
thing.
then they sword fight. See, this is the thing you
Yeah.
missed.
I
is
did
that-
not.
Yes,
it
you
wasn't
did.
much of a sword fight.
Yeah,
It was a sword
Well,
fight,
It
man.
was a full-on sword fight.
Okay, it's not much of a sword fight because yeah, he like musters his second win and then like, oh yeah, he's gonna beat him. Like yeah, he's just defending and then he like stabs him. It's not much of a fight.
Well, he's making like a sacrifice of getting stabbed in the chest and getting
Yeah.
stabbed in the arm,
Which is
in order
pretty
to gain
funny.
the upper hand.
And-
But you
Yeah.
didn't even
And he-
realize that happened,
And he had
Yeah.
to cover up his gut because he
Yeah, like
had the
he's-
dagger there.
which is hilarious. Like,
That
I
and
just
that's the
think-
part that I mean, like everyone says that's their favorite part. That is by far the best part of this movie.
I really wish they would have
Because his acting is so convincing. Like I did look it up that Mandy Patinkin's dad actually died of cancer, so it's like he used those emotions in this character.
Oh God, I thought you were
Yeah.
saying like this character was trying to kill cancer or something. Like he had cancer too, so he was like. I was very confused as to like,
Sorry,
you could have just said his dad died, but it seemed like you
Yeah.
emphasized of cancer, and it's like
Yeah.
that has to have some
I guess
bearing
it
in this
did, yeah.
movie.
yeah, the like scientist guy, he's trying to cure cancer. So
He's trying to
do.
cause cancer, and that's why
Yeah.
Mandy Patinkin's character hates him so much.
Killed my father.
But
Bear to die.
yeah, my other more generic qualm with this movie is
This even bugs me.
it's such a good, well shot movie, and they
Yeah.
hide the special effects so well to make it like very fantastical. In a way that a lot of other fantasy movies at the time couldn't do because they were much lower budget.
Yeah.
And yet there's one glaring scene where you can vividly, or two scenes where you can vividly see the mat during this epic sword fight, and it totally takes you out of the movie. And for a movie with such a big budget, they could have just reshot it with a little more sand on top, and it could have saved it. You couldn't have seen it. And
yeah.
I get you're
yeah, I
saying
mean,
you.
that's fair.
So,
I mean, it does not bug me whatsoever.
well,
but-
because you also are somehow conflating it with like an homage to older movies that may have used the same things.
I feel that way just because it's done twice. If it was done once, I would feel it'd be an accident. If it's done twice, they must have seen, oh, we done this on purpose. Like this is kind of like an homage to like the old swashbuckling like sword fights where you would kind of have that. I mean, they have the matte paintings. I mean, like everything is just taken from
But
older
the matte
movies, but
paintings
made
are
to
really
look
well
better.
good, are really good, and
And they usually are in old movies too. They're like of that quality.
yeah, and sword fighting is usually done really well, except like it's not paying an homage if you're just fucking up.
I don't
you
see it
would-
as a fuck up
It's
since it happened.
what
twice.
having a mat in a fantasy movie, having a modern mat in a fantasy movie isn't a fuck up. It's a fantasy movie.
it
It's set
happens
in a
twice.
time where those mats don't exist.
Dude, I was so sucked into the sword fighting that I didn't even notice it.
Okay.
I mean, you're not the most observant when it comes
Yeah.
to small details,
No,
Carlos.
no, because I get sucked in so easily.
It sucks.
Suck.
Suck.
He's gone from suck to blow.
Another incredible movie that didn't have mats, but
It probably did. I don't
it did,
fucking.
but they were hidden well.
They were hidden well.
and it.
Frickin'
But I think
Spaceball.
it's more a matter of that.
If that's
scene,
your biggest
that
problem
scene
with
probably
this movie,
it's not.
though, okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
But it is the one that irks me because that scene, what probably happened is that they had to shoot that scene so many times because it's so in depth, because it's a ton of choreography from actors that even even if they were the amazing actors, they would probably have to do multiple takes of that.
Yeah.
They probably just said, this is good enough, which is a devastating thing to think about for a movie like this.
And it
Because
definitely
you never
could be
want,
that,
you never
but
want, because for how hyped this movie
it
is,
does kind
for how
of, yeah,
great
it
this
does
movie
cheapen
is.
that moment.
It does, because that sword fight is incredible, and the
Yeah.
actors are nailing it.
Yeah, when they're like, flipping around and stuff, that looks great.
Yeah.
And then, he just lands on the mat. It's like, oh, it's clearly a mat there. I
You
don't know.
could've
Kind of
just
take it or
built-
leave it. It does not bug me.
You could have built just a small wall to hide it too. That's what they did for a lot of the other times where they land, is that they either
Just a
shot it
different
where
camera
you
angle.
couldn't see where the feet land,
Yeah.
or there was a wall in the way, like when he jumps up and it's clear that he's jumping off of a springboard or something.
Right.
There's a wall in the way so you can't see the springboard. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe he's just hitting like a very bouncy part of the ground.
It's just bad editing, man. Blame the editor.
Yeah, and it very well could be, or it's just bad set design.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad
It's
to
not
think.
bad set design. It's just not great.
No, it's bad set design.
Okay.
When you can see the mats,
Yeah.
and they didn't think maybe we
You
should
know,
change this so you can't see the
It's
mats.
tradition. Even in Jurassic World, I saw some mats when they land on, they're getting attacked by dinosaurs. They cover up with mud, but I'm like, that's a mat.
Well, no shit. You can point out that there's mats and a whole bunch of different things. Did you actually see it? I think you think it's that it's there because it's just a movie. It's not
Yeah.
the real thing happening. But
I
you
feel
don't
like
see it.
Yeah. I don't know. The older you get, like, the more you like to just watch movies for the sake of enjoying them. You'll notice the little things that like kind of make it fall apart, especially with older films. You'll notice like, oh, that's a mat. You'll see the strings and that kind of stuff. But
you
I know it's kind
you
of
didn't see the strings in a very long, drawn out climbing scene. You didn't see the strings.
I could kind of tell that he was covered in puppets, though.
Oh, it's clear. It's
Yeah.
clear that you can tell he's covered in puppets, and also that he's not climbing.
Yeah.
It's very obvious because he's swinging his legs like a crazy person. He's just using his arms to climb up like a mile or a half a mile of rope, which is impossible.
But he gets away with it because he's Andre the Frickin' Giant. All right, the eighth wonder of the world.
Wesley does. Wesley was the
Thank
more
you.
where the
Thank
where the kicking was more
Yeah,
the
yeah.
more apparent. But
He doesn't
it's
get
still-
away.
No, he does because it's a fantasy movie. It's kind of funny, but you don't
That's a
see the
great scene,
wires.
though.
It's
Yeah.
a great scene, yeah. It is. It's very suspenseful, even though it's just like very absurd.
All right,
Yeah.
your second rant.
Okay, because if this was your biggest complaint with the film, like
No, it's that, and then the story. There's
The
parts in
story.
the story that just were confusing and
Yeah.
should have been connected, or maybe weren't connected. Like it's not the most cohesive or compelling story.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're not upset about how they stormed the castle then?
Okay.
See,
Yeah,
because
that's
that's
another
what
one.
I
That's
thought
another
your
one
other
too, where
rant
it's like
was.
sloppy. It's like we don't want to shoot this again because we used pyrotechnics. We burnt up
I
our.
was kind of confused with that because like there's a point where Andre's head is on fire and then they cut away and his head's the only thing that's not on
Yeah,
fire.
exactly. And it's clear that they
Like
could
how
have
was
made
he
a
supposed
bigger
to survive that?
Exactly. And they could have made a bigger even just like a bigger
The
fake
head should have been slightly bigger.
or
yeah.
paint it a different, because the head was very obviously tiny,
It was
and it's
tiny,
Andre the
yeah.
Giant.
Like, it
you
was
know
his-
who's gonna be in there.
It was
Yeah.
his face, but yeah, it was like very white
And it
too.
from what I saw, I thought it was black, but maybe that's just me.
I thought it was
Those
like a
are the lighting.
gray.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a dark gray, right? Yeah. Maybe
It made
it's
him to look spookier, yeah.
yeah, but
I
then
noticed-
it cut to like the close up of his face when he was
Yep.
talking, and
Yeah.
it's just like the shape of it,
I
the size
how,
of his head
how
compared to
little would his hands have looked when he's like pointing out
Yeah.
compared to the rest of his body.
yeah. And
It's okay. They're in medieval times. These people are stupid as fuck. Wesley is clearly the smartest. That's kind of what they tell us. Is that like no one can match his intellect?
But wait, why did you bring that up?
Cause like Mandy Patinkin's like he's the only guy who can get us in there.
Yeah, but are you saying that they're stupid and they didn't need to believe that Andre the Giant was in there? Because I think Andre the Giant was actually meant to be in
He
that
was supposed
cloak
to be.
thing, and
yeah.
then he rips
Yeah,
it
like-
off and attacks
yeah.
them.
I thought they just run away while he's on fire because they're
yeah.
like
Well,
terrified.
they run away. They're scared of him. But then the one guy stays
yeah,
with
the
the key.
gatekeeper. Oh, you mean this
What?
kitty?
What did they say to before that? Like to
Oh.
cause him to.
He's like, yeah, just rip his arms off, Andre.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was something.
enough.
Yeah, and then he
worse.
was like, "Oh, this key."
Oh, you mean this key?
Yeah, that guy was great. He needed to be in it more. I did like
He-
that gatekeeper
he
guy. He was
reminds
very
me-
silly looking.
He reminded me a lot of like a side character from Frozen. Like he seemed like he had
Okay.
that like fantasy like
Yeah.
Arendelle realm.
I wonder if that nose was real. If that was a fake nose.
Highly doubt it, but it would be
Yeah.
very interesting if it was. He looked like a hobbit.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's true. He did look like he fit in the Hobbit movie
Yep.
for sure.
Okay, so what else can we talk about? I guess
We're going to a commercial break.
yeah, I guess we'll go to a small commercial break. So we'll see you a little bit later.
Oh yeah! Welcome to Uncle Tony's
We're Uncle Tony's
Torture
Emporium, home of the best torture devices in all the
and
realm,
all the land.
all the land. So
We
we
got
got
your Iron Maiden. We got your pulley system. We got the machine.
we got recently in stock. We got the brand
brand
new
new-
machine.
Dude, you want to take 2 lives off of your enemy's life cycle,
Cycle? Yes.
or like 50 years.
Using-
You want to kill that
using-
fucker in the most painful way possible. Tony's got your back. all right?
Using nothing but water wheels
Water.
and suction cups right on
It's
the
the
nips.
way of the future.
It's the
all
way
right?
of the future.
Not any of this electricity shit I've been hearing. No, water-powered
water-powered torture
okay?
devices are the way of the future. They're
Way of the future. You
eco-friendly.
wanna be
No,
a man
no,
of the future,
no,
you
please,
wanna be a-
no, no.
We got former President Nixon here. He loves it.
He loves it.
Another satisfied customer.
Yeah, let's get a
Another
testimony
satisfied
from a
customer.
satisfied customer over here. So, how on
Sir,
a
how-
scale
on
of
a scale of 1
on a
to
1
10,
to
how
10,
feel-
how are you feeling
tortured
about your
are you
torture
feeling right
device? He can't
now?
even
Like I
speak.
said, another satisfied customer.
Another satisfied customer. It's frankly the
We're
fact that
running
you're
out of machines. We got Iron Maidens coming out of our ears. Get down here quickly. You know, like
Yeah.
this stuff ain't gonna
quick.
last forever.
This
people.
stuff, it's gonna be inconceivable that these things are gonna be
Inconceivable.
out tomorrow. So
Get
your
down
here.
Iron Maiden today.
get your Iron Maiden today.
Get your machine.
Get
you
your
know,
machine. Get your
You get a machine, you get a free vice. You know, we
Get your
throw in a vice
yeah. We
with
throw
it,
in your
yeah.
vice. We got the draw and quartering section. It's great for the kids. It's like
The kids love it. We
it's
got
like a
your
petting
poison
zoo.
apples. You got your poison apples in a bucket. You know, you go dip.
yeah. You got
Bobbing for poison apples. we
bobbing
got
for
it.
poison apple. The
Great at parties.
yeah.
You know, it's
the
a real showstopper.
It is a real showstopper because it kills everybody in the
kills
show.
everybody, yes.
Yeah, the draw and quarter. They got the horses there, so it's kind of like a petting zoo, except
Also,
there's
for you
people's
sports
limbs.
fans, if you got a buddy who's a Packers fan, we got them Bears jerseys.
We got Bears
them
jerseys.
Cubs shirts.
The most
We
ultimate
got 'em,
torture
alright?
for any Packer
Any
fan
she
that might be
said,
giving
any
you
she said.
giving you grief.
We'll kill them dead.
We'll kill him dead,
Yep. That's
Just
how
like
that's the worst torture there is, right?
just like a heart attack. We'll kill him dead. You need a
That's like
solid
patriotic
baker's
right
dozen.
there. It's a Bears jersey.
It's a Bears jersey. So come on down to Uncle Tony's Murder
Oh,
Emporium.
crazy Uncle
Crazy
Tony.
Uncle Tony's
We're
Torture
throwing the nipple
Emporium.
clamps for free, dude. Don't forget our nipple clamps.
Double your nipple clamps for free. He's loving it. We'll see you guys at the sale.
We're back. My nipples are chafing.
My nipples
God.
are chafed. My life force has never been lower.
Yeah, dude. You got like 5 minutes. We better.
I know.
wrap
We
this
better.
podcast up.
I think I got a little bit more, like 20 minutes. But
At least.
But maybe we'll do some necromantic power. Maybe I'll be butt
Yeah,
chugging
we'll-
mimosas with the devil in a couple of minutes.
God willing. you
God
know,
willing.
yeah.
Fingers crossed. I
I'll
mean,
probably
he's-
be back there soon. I feel like 20 years were taken off my life.
You look like it too.
Yeah, it shows, man.
It shows. You're a hot
Hot
silver
mess.
fox, Carl.
Yeah.
You're a hot silver fox. Okay, so guys, now we're gonna leap right into I guess we call it what the fuck
What the
moments.
fuck?
Yeah. They're good or bad. It's gonna be kind of
Yeah.
what's the moment that really kind of was like kind of freaky to you?
Okay, when we finally saw these enormous rats, because like now I know it's a person in a suit, which is also freaky because they got to get on all fours.
Yeah.
You know, they're like the original furries. No
They
one likes
are.
a furry, dude.
Nobody should like a furry
No one
because these
should.
are the original. These
The
and
original,
Godzilla.
The OG fur. Yeah, it reminded me of like someone in a Godzilla
It
suit.
totally did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except there
Which
was
I
gross
appreciate,
hair.
and it was way grosser. I'm
I was-
like,
yeah.
it was my what the fuck moment.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
absolutely feel like Godzilla is so much better just because it didn't have the graphic detail of like drool covered mouths and a tongue that retracted.
I mean,
like,
they would have tried if they had the technology.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. And the hair.
The
oh.
tongue.
Dude, that tongue was so gross.
Oh,
like,
you
yeah.
noticed it too.
oh
just
god, that was the
Just
one.
the-
that, like he's
Yeah.
holding that mouth open,
Yeah,
and
the
that
tongue's just
tongue
going
is
in and
just
out.
like
It's like
And
I
was
just
like,
want to
dude,
kiss.
you
Like,
know, yeah,
back and
first
forth.
Date, man, no
First
tongue.
date, yeah, bro. Come on.
Wait,
Wait,
this
a first
man
date,
just
no
threw
tongue for
himself
you?
on Wesley. He's like, take me,
Take me now.
take me now.
Take
Fuck
me
me.
now. I'm a vampire. I'm a vampire rat. Take me now. Okay, Carl, what's your what the fuck moment?
honestly, I don't really have any. I mean, that the first time I saw
something-
this film,
yeah, that
the
could-
very first time I saw this film, it was that.
Okay. What
You
about
know,
the
but
eels?
like,
Oh yeah, the eels. The eels are pretty good. It's a kind of a
Yeah.
similar thing.
I mean,
It's pretty
but-
spooky, yeah.
yeah, but those rats freak me out more.
yeah, because
you know,
I
like-
guess they're in there way longer.
get
Than
Yeah,
the eels.
I mean, Andre just punches that eel, and then boom, it's gone. You know,
And
Straight up.
fuck you, little man.
Yeah.
the original One Punch Man, Andre the Giant.
He does not. He's not bald enough.
That's true. And I mean, some skinny dude just chokes him out, so.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so yeah, the rats. I guess 2 for the rats. Mine was just kind of absurd. It felt like jumping back again. It's the Monty Python moment of like the 2 boats in like I don't know if they shot it on like a big soundstage that they filled
I'm
with
sure
water,
it was, yes.
or if it was just like on a very calm night. But the boat
for
chase,
sure
and
soundstage.
as I say the boat chase, I'm doing air quotes because neither boat is moving, and
Yeah,
yet
it's
there's this
hilarious.
constant like this idea that they're gaining on us, they're getting so close now, and they keep showing shots of the boat the same distance away and not
Yeah.
moving like the
That's like
sails.
in movies where they just reuse a lot of the same shots. Like again, that could be a nod or.
Oh, I
Yeah,
definitely think,
perfect,
and I don't even know if it was the same shot. It was just that the second shot, it just looks so much like the first.
Yeah.
It maybe moved like half a centimeter to the left, and not the sails aren't full of air. Like it doesn't, because it would actually have moved. They probably didn't
Right.
fix it to the ground. But yeah, I just thought it was very funny and very much like the scene in Monty Python when it's just an extended running at a castle scene where they just keep jumping back to the original. It's just a
And then you cut to him just full force steps.
full on stabs one of the guards
The
and then
guy's
runs
like, "Hey."
inside. Yeah. It's just great.
me
And
up every
that's it just felt a lot more like that than the rest of the movie. And so yeah, like we said kind of at the beginning, we did see this in like a very unique situation. We saw it was kind of like they call it a Bruin view.
Yes.
And so it was at this
lot of people were
music
drunk.
venue. A lot of people were drunk. They said they had themed drinks, but I didn't on the menu that they had posted, I didn't see anything that was like specifically themed drinks.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just missing it. Maybe they had like a little flyer instead of changing the board.
Eel Moscato.
Ugh. You have the weirdest, because we also when was it for Predator where we talked about making drinks, or was it
Yeah.
for
It was for Predator. What did I come up with there? I can't remember.
it was like hot chocolate and
Oh.
and
Ew.
it was something gross. It was like hot chocolate and vodka.
It was probably called the Grandpa Special.
Yeah, that was
That was for
That's-
Trolls too.
yeah.
And it's just
It's a Molotov cocktail.
yeah, it's a Molotov cocktail that you get thrown in your face. It's like sugar glass, so it shatters, and then you just open your mouth, and then it's
So would we say this movie is a good like triple feature if you watch it with the Holy Grail
and
and
Trolls
Trolls
2. Absolutely,
I
because
feel it is,
like we
yeah.
said at the beginning,
It's a
this is a
fantastic
prequel
trilogy.
to Trolls 2, because in Trolls 2, the start is that the grandpa's died, but he used to go and read stories to his
The
grandson.
poor grandpa's way more obese than Trolls 2.
Well, maybe
Way
that's
more
why he
obese,
died.
yeah. He's obese now.
Think about it.
And the
He
kid's
got-
younger and his hair color changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's continuity issues, but I mean, I would say step for step, Monty Python is the prequel
I'm pretty
to.
sure Trolls 2 came out before
Oh.
Princess Bride.
Oh, I don't know about that, but because
Princess Bride is a prequel, anyways. I mean, that's what they did with the Star Wars, make the prequels.
Exactly, make the prequels after.
Yeah.
No, but so how do you guys feel about seeing it in the setting? I mean, we have brought up like there was a lot of distractions. There was a lot of
there was like subtitles. I know not everyone's a fan of subtitles during the film. I watch movies with subtitles. My hearing's not always the best, so I do like having subtitles on.
Okay, I can see
And
that.
that would have helped a lot with this viewing. But yeah, no, go see it. Like I never thought of this as a cult film, but I guess it is. I guess there's it's more of a cult following. I thought this was just like a classic. One of those like
I can
cult
see
classics.
that. Yeah, I don't think because I feel like a cult classic has to not be a success. Like it has to be like a very specific.
Was this successful when it came out?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, it's a Rob Reiner film. Like it's kind of like the top of the top for yeah.
And then on top of that, all the stars that are in the film.
Yeah, like you for
like Mandy Patinkin,
and that's about it. And just other attractive people. Yeah, Andre the Giant. Yeah.
And Carl? You've seen this movie a million times. What is Andre's character's name?
Yeah, that's a good question. We don't know.
I honestly was actually thinking about that, and I'm like, I don't even think they ever mentioned his name in this film.
Damn, that's a.
They might not. I don't know.
I wonder if he's listed as like it has like a random character, but then it says as Andre the Giant. Like he's just playing himself, but they have to give him a different name.
Just through the generations he has existed.
Yeah, so Carl, so subtitles are one thing that probably could have helped this experience, Carl.
For me,
more
seeing it as many times as I have, seeing it as many times as I have, I thought the experience was fine just the way it was.
Okay.
Because of how many times I've seen it. I mean, for someone who hasn't seen it at all.
Kind of annoying, I guess, since we did not partake in the drinking, but like it was still fun. I'm like, it's so awesome seeing like movies with like their biggest fans. Like everyone's cheering at the littlest things. Like the grandpa shows up and they're like, "Yeah, the grandpa."
Yeah, I guess it's not like with these types of things.
I did enjoy that.
And with these types of things, it's not about the actual movie. It's about the experience. Like,
it's the experience.
Yeah, and I guess
it's not like the room where they're like they throw spoons at the screen.
I mean, they were kind of doing because they did have the thing where it's like during the sword fight, if you brought a fake sword, you should sword fight, and there were people doing that on the.
They did that after the movie, I thought.
No, there was a couple that was sword fighting after the movie, but there was one guy who was going hard into the sword fighting during the fight scene. Yeah, it was great to watch. Like we had a good vantage point. I couldn't see the movie because you guys were in front of me.
You couldn't see it?
No, I only saw very snippets when you guys would move.
Are you serious?
It's very funny.
Oh.
Well, because you guys were in that, it was like just enough.
You came over, like.
No, it was perfect because you guys were more interested in seeing the movie, and I was
I was really into it.
Yeah, and like from what I saw, I could see enough of it, and.
I mean, you would just commentate like every 20 seconds.
I would. You would hear another stupid thing from me.
6 fingers. Once a dick.
Okay, it kind of was flashing, and the guy's horn he was really rubbing that horn, and it never got used. And I'm like, it's dick. He just wants to rub his dick.
Well, that explains why he was so pale. Like he's got to keep that dick hard, so it looks like a finger.
He has like his glove, the liner for his 6th finger is like. It's like moleskin, and every time like the glove slightly moves, it just feels like he's jerking off.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
We really thought of it.
Yeah, we really thought about this guy. Like this was the most of the car ride home after seeing this because it was in Madison, and we don't live in Madison.
What about for you?
I mean,
the experience
like,
for you, Ryan? Do you recommend it?
I don't know personally. I mean, just because like if you're going to see it, for the first time, don't do this. Like, just don't do this. Go watch it yourself.
This should not be your first viewing.
No, this should not be your viewing.
This is like, I'm one of the biggest Princess Bride fans.
Yeah.
And that's why I said it would be, for me, it was perfect the way it was.
You didn't even dress up.
Yeah, you wore your stupid Packers had. Didn't
Yeah.
even get that right.
You didn't
He
even
was
get
wearing
that. You
a
couldn't
Bears
wear.
jersey,
If you would have
dude.
wore a Bears jersey,
That
for
would have been amazing.
That would have been
dude.
a great costume.
You
Yeah.
couldn't pay me enough to wear that.
Yeah, and you didn't do anything. Nobody would ever pay you because you have no passion. You have no passion. You couldn't. You
No
didn't dress up
drive,
as.
yeah.
You didn't dress up as Andre the Giant. You didn't dress up as Indigo Montoya.
Just
Carl,
gotta give you a
Dude, you
frizzy
guys
wig.
literally like shot this to me like a week before we went. I'm like, shit.
you
had
don't
time.
have a puffy shirt. You don't have a puffy
You
white
don't-
shirt, Carl. I don't
Yeah,
believe that.
You don't have a Bears jersey? I
You
don't
have-
believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Go
It's a
through my
dirty
closet,
lie.
man.
I would laugh my ass off if just like it like
Crumpled in
somebody
the
bought it
corner,
as a
yeah.
joke and he got so mad and threw it into his closet.
Yeah, it's been
and he
there like
forgot
5
about it.
years. Yeah,
It's dusty, it's old, it's like
Dude.
5 sizes too
Dude.
small.
I know what I'm getting you for your birthday,
No.
Christmas,
Yeah.
Easter's.
We're just getting you Bears
Oh
paraphernalia.
Yeah.
my god.
That's a good one. Instead of
So you
your
can wear
Loot
it to the next
crates,
Princess
which you
Bride
seem to
show.
like, we're getting you Bears stuff. I'm
Fuck
getting,
yeah, dude.
fuck yeah. No, but yeah, definitely. And other than that, like, definitely if you're going to see this, get drunk if you want to.
Get drunk,
It
yep.
will be more enjoyable.
Mhm.
You will zone out the people
Yeah,
who
this is one
kind
of
of are
those
obnoxiously
classics where
screaming.
it's like, yeah, it's a fun time. It's a fun movie. This is like, it's a good movie to watch with a crowd.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
You
yeah,
don't have to pay attention too much to tell what's going on.
yeah. And if you've seen it enough, then
I mean, yeah,
get drunk
it's
and
so
just
old.
randomly shout shit,
Yeah,
just like that one dude.
that'd be hilarious.
Be
Okay,
Great,
so
okay.
for someone that actually loves this film, as opposed to
Mm.
like you guys, did you guys actually overall enjoy this experience?
Yeah, no, it was a great experience, and I wouldn't say I love the film, but I like it a lot.
It's
Like
not
I
a-
admire it more than like love it, because I don't have like any sort of nostalgia towards it.
Yeah.
I recognize it as like a classic film, and it is pretty funny, but yeah, it's not exactly my kind of comedy.
Yep, me too. And I would rather just watch this myself, like on now that I have a
Yeah.
nice TV. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch this again.
I wholeheartedly agree. I don't know. I mean, maybe if somebody is just like, "Oh, we should watch this for something,"
Yeah.
and I'll just sit through it. I'll probably and
Deal with it.
that's maybe why I'm so quick to criticize it, because I've already had the optimal experience and trying to and I enjoyed it well enough for what it was. I didn't want to see it again, and so now I had to see
Yeah,
it
you
again.
really went into this like, I mean,
Well, I
now
knew
I know
I
you were
already
in a vantage point where you couldn't even see the movie.
Well, I had given up at the, I
Yeah,
knew there
no,
wasn't
You really had. You're
I
like,
knew-
I'm just gonna roast this movie. I'm gonna.
well, I knew there wasn't enough room for me to see it, and I
it
actively
was
decided
either standing
you
closer
guys
to me and Carl or closer to those loud drunk women. So
yeah, and
you had
they
a
were
choice.
they made no sense and were just spouting random shit to each other.
They were,
and
it
I
was
found
really
that very
obnoxious.
enjoyable.
Yeah. Okay. Better than the film.
I mean, I can multitask. I was
Yeah.
watching parts of the film. There were parts where you guys would like separate a little bit because it just sucked. We were not in a good spot. We came a little late because of my misreading of it. Because
Yeah, it's
I
all
thought the
good.
doors opened at 8 and it started
Hey
at
man,
9.
I work third shift, standing 10 hours. I'm like, all right, I could do this for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yep,
Bring it on.
bring it on. And we have come to the conclusion of our
Oh,
thing. So
so sad.
we will ask. Yeah, so sad. Oh no, the book is
We'll
shutting.
never talk about this movie again.
Never
Ever.
again.
Never.
Never.
Never
Never.
again.
Again.
Okay,
Got
so
that?
so again.
Yes.
Okay,
Never again.
Never.
we're gonna do this again.
Never.
This is not a tradition.
You
Carl.
just like nobody could pay you enough
you
to
cannot
wear.
pay us enough to see this.
Nobody could pay you enough to wear a bear shirt because you would do it open-heartedly with
Yeah.
no reservations.
Right.
You would not accept a cent to wear a bear shirt because Carl loves the Bears. Carl is the biggest Bear fan I know.
Bears fan.
Oh my
No
God.
The
Bears.
biggest Bears fan I know.
These guys are feeding you a bunch of bullshit.
Don't believe that. We are
Eat it up
we
like
are
chum.
we are super
it.
fat. We got out of the basement, but we're still fat.
It's
we
all
need
the chum we've been
We
eating.
need the yeah, we've been eating a lot of chum. We need the forklifts.
It's from all those cookies from last
Carl
night.
is just a hardcore Bear fan,
Yep. He
and
lifts
Nope.
us up by
Nope.
his shoulders.
he lifts us up by his berry shoulders. And
He's like
so
Atlas now. He's like Atlas carrying 2 planets. So
and
he's
he
better
won't
than Atlas.
he won't shrug us off. So Wally,
because he's the best.
would you on our brand
you were just
spanking
gonna say,
new
would I fuck with this again?
brand spanking new rating system?
Yeah.
What's your
How
fuck
many
rating?
fucks am I giving this? All right, I'm saying 3 fucks and 1 blowjob.
Legitimately not at all the rating system is
3
that
fucks
you-
and 1 blowjob.
Okay, are we just
That's
gonna do it
that's
that
a three
way?
and a half. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I thought we were
Okay,
doing
3.
no.
God
It's
damn
not
it.
3. It's I give a fuck and a blowjob about this movie,
Okay, yeah.
or a hand job about this
Yes.
movie.
Yes.
Okay. Do we want to stick with that or just go 3
Oh my
fucks?
gosh.
Because 3 fucks, 1
I'm so-
blowjob is fine too. Like
I'm
that's
so confused.
it's easier. You created the system.
And then which you just derailed completely.
No, I did not. I changed 1 line.
Well, you did say like you went with okay. So
Didn't I just changed the 1 line from 2, which was
Because
Well,
he
you
had
did
I don't
okay.
give a fuck about this movie, and then you were like,
okay,
no,
I
it
give a
has to be
fuck and
I
a hand
don't give
job about
2
this movie.
fucks.
Yeah,
God,
so-
we
Yeah.
are children.
You do
We
what?
are goddamn children. Yeah. I give a fuck and a blowjob of this
so
movie.
3.5.
Yeah.
Okay. You give a fuck and a blowjob
3.5
about this.
fucks out of 5.
Okay, Carl, what do you do?
Oh, dude, you already know my rating. It's 5
Zero.
full fucks about this movie.
Perfect
5
fuck.
bears fucks.
Yep.
He fucking loves the Bears and this movie.
Oh my god.
Just
And
yeah, we're not gonna let this go.
We're not gonna let this
Dude,
go.
you know I'm gonna spurt all my green and gold semen over this thing.
Gross.
yeah,
That's
you have
disgusting,
that
dude.
because it's the like semen is the lowest thing for you, so that's why it's green and gold. You piss
Oh
semen.
my
You
God.
piss.
You piss semen. Wow, I want that on a t-shirt. I piss semen.
quote, you piss semen, you piss green and gold semen because it's garbage to you. It's the stuff you
No.
expel
Yeah.
from your
you
body.
See what that
No.
G on your head stands
Yeah.
for? Garbage.
Garbage.
Oh my
Garbage.
And
God.
you love the Bears. My rating
And yes,
is
yeah.
I don't give 2 fucks about this movie, but I will give it a hand job and a blow job. So that's 2 and
Yeah.
2 and
Mm.
3
3
3
quarters.
quarters.
Yes.
Fucks. Oh my
fucks.
God.
So that's gonna be all together.
That's pretty good.
It's gonna be
That's not
3.
bad.
It's gonna be 3 fucks and a blow job and a hand job for our average rating,
Yep.
which is
Pretty
great.
solid,
It's
yeah.
pretty solid. It might be even up to 4. I
shows,
think I
yeah,
skewed it.
this classic, like, it holds up for most of us.
Yeah, it holds up enough. And that's all we can say about
Yeah.
this movie.
Inconceivable.
Yeah. You know what, guys?
You killed my father.
You
Prepare to die. Fuck off.
As you wish. Fuck off.